Welcome back to What If Zuko Had the Power of Infinity? So, yeah, where we left off, the Zuko who was having overload, power, overflow his power, and so he basically like alright having when he saw his eye, and everyone is talking about him, how they never seen a kid from birth Earth got like a general trade-off thing. So Zumi told Inko about the student called Deku, and how he's probably been blessed with it, but losing something to gain something. This is gonna be a real turd. As Inko says, "What do you mean, sweetie?" Well, we didn't know that, or we were gonna ask him about his quirk, but he fell asleep, and then one of the wrecking balls that he has grew a mouth, and it starts talking to him, and we could hear their conversation. And the one that whoever was talking to says, "Oh, you got the power of me, or you got the power of infinity and the multiverse, but the only trade-off was your hyper regeneration quirk." As she also says, and the reason why the good doctor didn't find the quirk is because you didn't realize that you got the overpowered power from upgrading yourself from that. So by get rid of the quirk, as Inko couldn't believe that her own she only knows that her own son. She couldn't believe that her own son had a hyper regeneration quirk. Her to basically gives you from point A to point B in regeneration. So yeah. So Zuko was basically, so the next day, or let's say sports festival thing, as they asked him to take off the ball and chain things, things, or actually just as he starts training as so he basically they molded into like things that are capturer. So basically like a claw machine kind, the claw part. So Zuko was basically was wearing like the school uniform, like, or the sports festival uniform, but with like chains on him around his entire body as he like throws, as he moves around really fast, as he, and when diving down deep into this, I just realized that it's basically like what if Deku was in the Rose Vampire, or what if Zuko was that pink-haired girl from that TV show. Oh. So, that turns into a white vampire chick thing. So, So he knew with his eye got covered so that no one judge about him, as no one, or class 1B didn't want to, like, if they tried to like stand in his way, the wrecking balls could just easily take care of them. So as when they were leaving, the Monoma runs up to Zuko and laughs at him, like saying, you probably have no sympathy for us people. As he grabs he basically, when he heard that, he did that. Like, he's literally reached up and like straight up, like, as they couldn't believe that he slams right into and sending them flying. So as every single one of them agrees, don't make Zuko upset. As Zuko was like, okay. And he mostly now at the sports festival, and he won the race. He won against the every battle by himself. Like, he literally, everybody was trying to go for him because he had a 1 million or something like that $1 million headband. But Zuko used his special thing as he literally captured all of his entire classmates and class 1B, as they couldn't believe that he could as that was with one hand, as he says, do you feel like an anvil? As he used the other hand, and like he did that, but with one hand swinging, like the other hand would swing, and like, yeah, they thought they were goners, but he just taps on his own bars, and it sends a giant shockwave that makes all of them fell onto the ground, disqualifying them. Like, because as they're like, what just happened? As Zuko won against the sports festival without having to go through round 2 or fight 1, as he really did knock out a competition, as he says, as he smiles like, it was my music to my ears. Hers. How was it? Well, it was so beautiful. The ringing gong hung is the power. That you use the chains to bang on the. So yeah, all of them, all the students, like Class A, Class B, except for Zuko, was basically got disqualified from the sports festival. As Monama's like, aw man, come on. But how did you do that? As they all like looked at him, and Zuko like, But hey, you're still alive, you know. Okay? Back to your training thing. As he starts training, like at the sand, and as Zuko, oh, let's bring, let's, as he says, okay, as he, or like his handcuffs things come unhinged and his waist thing as his legs, so he says it's good to stretch it out. As he just like used a Powerball thing, hing, as yeah, he starts trying to siphoning off that power. As he threw it, or he literally threw his power thing all the way around. Like he did like the, I think I have it. That's the thing. If not, I'll be right back. He did like that. And he, like, to release all that energy. As some of the people, like, as his eye went back to normal, as he says, as he looked at himself in a mirror, or like in a reflection, as he sees, I'm back to normal. That was just, as the change rolled back right back onto him, like ball and chain things. Yeah. As he feels better when. So, yeah. And everyone wants to who have him on their team. Like, he's so overwhelmed that he's trying. But then something unthinkable happens. Pro hero, the number 2 hero, Endeavor, came. Or no, actually, hold on. It was her. I was gonna say an Endeavor, but so he says, no need to worry about that. Okay? With all that power that you have, me and Endeavor agree that you'll join 2 agencies, okay? Alright. And, yeah, he basically joins them. And he goes, and he actually did win against, like, him, because he says, or Zuko says, why are you trying to kill the heroes off, As all four, or as Hero Killer Stain says, they're just fake heroes. As when they, or actually when he tried to say fake heroes, when he says fake, and then he gets the wrecking ball thing. Like, basically like that. And yeah, as he basically beats a crud out of Hero Killer Stain, as he says, as he picks up, or as he uses his 2 tendrils thing, or both of his arms, to chain up the Tenya and Ida, or like Tenya and the native on his back, and he used the other mall wrecking ball to capture Hero Killer Stain. As he drops Tenya and Native off, he goes right in to who basically, yeah, so both like Bunny Girl and Endeavor got the rings higher, like in popularity. As they asked for their hero name, or for his hero name, and his hero name is Infinity Lord, and Lord of the Infinity thing. So yeah. So basically, yeah, he has because the change thing at the sports festival thing was basically they couldn't believe that someone with that much power or could like basically did that. And so when he does it like all the sound goes right to those targets. Yeah. So as the next day they all came back. Huh? And yeah. Everyone is like trying to cover their ears so that when Zuko does do that again, and they won't listen to that like clang sound. As he says, huh. As he says, huh. That's okay. As they had their ears covered, so they were like, huh. Alright. As he walks away, like he literally like, let's get to class before I don't just do that. And Monoma is like laughing at him like, ha ha ha, with your, no wonder why your classmates are so, like, as he gets the same treatment again. Bam, bam, yeah. So Zuko does not even give a heck about him. As he was as they all agree on that, and Monoma deserves it. As he did like do one thing, and so yeah. So now the mall thing, he start or they he do clothes shopping, and he's pretty famous for her from sports festival because he didn't know that his as he saw some food as he had money, so he had a chicken. He basically had every food, like sweets, as he's like eating, as he's like literally eating, and like all the way. Like he literally, just look, he literally ate all of it, and like he went, okay, all done. As he shops for clothes, yeah. As yeah, so Chaco decides to do something really funny. Honey. So, or like Ochako, he like has feelings for him. Between Ochako and Momo, when she wants that power of the Infinity one. So she, like, between Ochako and her, as, yeah, they haven't seen his true form yet. So Ochako and Momo decides to, they both agree to go on double date thing. Like, Zuko dates both of them. So, sorry. So, yeah. Of course, Zuko agrees with that. Where they see Zuko actually ate a piece of chicken, as her, or his eyes were back to, like, he was being all cute, like how she is right now. So, yeah. So, and Ochako and Momo had a cute moments, like they couldn't believe that their own classmate can and be super powerful and being attractive at the same thing. So, yeah. So now Momo and Ochako, tells Zuko that he will double date on him. So, yeah. So Zuko was basically says sure, or because I like both of you. Anyways, as I'm not, or he says, I'm not like that grapefruit kid that, weird hoe to you girls. So, yeah. Or that human Pikachu thing. As they are relieved about that. As they got, or they left. And they, yeah. As now the, like, unexpected, like, so Nezu tells the pro heroes that Zuko will be the ultimate weapon. Because with that much power and traded off from the already overpowered, like, immortal Colonel, he decides, okay. Yeah. So now the Cambark, I am gonna skip it. But no. So they decided, Momo and Ochako and Zuko were sleeping in the same tent. As he put a chained, like, prison thing to make him feel safe. As, yeah, they try to, like, sneak in between like, between Monoma and, or no, Mina and Visible Girl, and, like, rest of them try to sneak in just to take a picture of them. But they didn't realize that the middle chain prison was blocking their way. As, yeah, Zuko was like, okay. So then the next morning they get up. As, yeah. As, of course, at the Pro Heroes thing, so Nezu was like, we should turn him into a weapon of the Pro Heroes thing, like, to the villains. As she says, well, how about they treat him as a kid, or like a adult thing, and then we'll go from there. As his power, as she says that his power is too great to handle, and how do we get his immortal part back? As, well, probably some trade-off thing, like he already traded something off to gain that power. So Yeah, so Zuko was basically, as the next morning he gets up, as he says, "Good morning, Infinity Lord," or Infinity. Good morning. As he says, "Huh, how well did you sleep?" And then, as he says, "Well," and of course is talking like he's like basically not very loud, but he talks like normally as they as he like ready to train. Yeah. As Zuko was like, okay. As he trained harder, he was the first ones up before everyone. So he like threw a ball, or no, he trains harder, and he like does like that stuff, and he does like offense or like short range, and he also does like long range attacks. Like he destroyed 50 mountains from one attack. He does like long range, short range, medium range, and every technique. As he decides to do something like he that would be cool. So Zuko, tells the Infinity that he has something really cool. As like chains fall off of his body, and yeah, so as he gathers up enough power, and like how Monoma, or not, I keep saying Monoma. This guy right here. Here? Yeah. Zuko copied his like laser attack from his chest. Actually, if you move like his beam thing up, kind of like what Iron Man does, but he does it on a whole nother level. As he only things that were left was two things on his arms. Arms. As he used the combined attack. On a tree. He used his own chain prison with the like, he kind of has that same power of laser thing. So he decides, okay, yeah, so yeah, basically a superconductor. As when he did that, it looked like a nuke just went off. Woke everybody up. as he says, huh, as the change retract, as he says, man, it really brings combined power of the two things. As as he as they're like, okay, as he goes invisible, because his outfit goes invisible. So he basically, they thought it was Invisible Girl, um, that was doing that explosion. But turns out the Invisible Girl was basically, turns out she was standing right next to, or sleeping. And seeing him, or as, yeah, as, they're like, as he comes out of vanish mode, like, hey guys, as some of them got so scared they jumped back. Like, don't freak us out like that. Sheesh. I thought it was a villain attack. Well, that's okay. I was just trying a new combination. You want to check it out? You want to see me do it? As they were saying, sure. As, yeah, so he used, and in the open, so he faced towards one of the trees. As he used chain prison, and then he says, alright, here comes a big laser, as a laser comes out of the Zuku's chest thing. Basically, like if Monoma, or if that guy, I keep saying Monoma, that laser dude moved his laser to his chest. And when he shut a fire off thing, like shut a laser off, and like it exploded that 20 times more powerful. It was like him throwing a ball. Oh. And yeah, does that. As they were so surprised about how did he learn to use his and the another classmate's power, as he says, I don't know, it came to me in a dream once, or last night. As Mr. Ozawa says, oh good, you're training early, so yeah. As Mr. Ozawa forgot the ball thing, the one that like usually throws a ball, but Zuko made a suggestion of how about instead of using or doing that, how about whoever tries to, it's mostly strength too, because you really have to take it and separation because quirk doesn't make up your strengths. And see, as he did disconnect one of the ball parts from the chain and set it down on the ground and then he tells them to try to pick it up. As they're like, this is going to be easy. As let's say the Yankee went first, and he tries to lift it up, but it didn't like fully capable, so he basically is forcing himself to do it. So yeah, so they all tried, but none of them have exceeded, except for Zuko. He picks it up, straps it back on, and he says, see? Because your physical strength, without your quirk, you can still fight. And as they couldn't believe that he made a really good point about it. So yeah. Sorry. So now, please wait for part 3.